In this video, I'm going to share with you everything you need to know to get started with Sunsama today. What's up, friends? Paul here, and today we'll be talking about one of my absolute favorite productivity tools called Sunsama. It is a great planning tool for you to schedule out your tasks that you need to complete, and I'm just a super fan of this tool. I've been using it for a while, and I just want to say, if at any point you want to try Sunsama, be sure to check the description below for my affiliate link, which will give you a free 30-day trial to test out Sunsama and see if it's a good fit for you. I believe the typical trial is about 14 days, so this should give you plenty of time to test out Sunsama. Perhaps you're like me and you feel like you spend more time looking for the perfect tool than actually getting work done. I've tried many different productivity tools, and this one is one of my favorites. So I've made 2 other videos about Sunsama. I guess I'm that much of a super fan, but I'm excited to share with you today a beginner's tutorial, step-by-step process on getting started and introduce you to some new features that have just launched, including the Navigation 2.0 and Zapier integration and more. So you might be wondering, what are my criteria for picking a great tool or productivity app? And it usually comes down to about 3 different things. Number 1, and probably the most important thing, is the underlying philosophy or system behind the planner, because if that is a good system and it helps you get things done, then that's the most important thing. Secondly, a good UI and UX design. So just like you want your websites to be easy to navigate, you want a system that's easy and fun for you to use. So what I find is typically the tools that I stick with are the ones that I enjoy using. So if you don't enjoy Sunsama, that might be a good indicator that it's not for you, but I have a feeling that you might actually like it, and maybe a lot. And then lastly, is the price right? So if you're ready, let's dive into Sunsama. But before we do that, I just want to give a full disclosure. They have given me the app to use for free, but the thoughts that I share in this video will be my own. So if you're ready, let's dive into why and how to start using Sunsama today. So let's dive into how to set up your Sunsama account. So the first thing you're going to do is to register. I will say that, as you can see here, typically there's a 14-day trial, but we're not going to use the typical way. We're going to go to the video description that I have here so that you can get the free 30-day trial. So just click on this link and it'll bring you to the sign up page. And we're going to click try for free. You can see down here that it updated to 30 days, which is what we want. So we'll say try for free, and then you come to the super simple page. You just put in your email address. It says 30-day free trial, no credit card required. We'll just hit start trial. And then we're all set. We'll click sign in with Google. We're going to select the Google account that it belongs to. Then you're going to allow Google to share your name, email address, language preference, and profile picture with Sunsama. So we're going to just continue. And then you're going to have to allow it to see and edit your events in your calendar and access your Google Calendar, basically. See and download any calendar you have access to. And then we're going to hit allow. Okay, make your daily planner work for you. Let's customize Sunsama based on your work tools, calendars, and daily schedule. Then you'll plan your first day. So basically you can go through and select whatever project management tools you use. For example, one that I use is ClickUp. And so I can select that, or sometimes I script my videos in Notion. I could select that, and basically it'll integrate those so that you can bring the information right into that. But for now, I'm just going to skip that. You can see that I've got all these different calendars that I can bring in. That looks good. And so and you can even add another Google Calendar or a Outlook account, Google account or Outlook account. And then our key insight: you will be more calm and productive if you focus on just what you need to do for today. So again, one thing that sets Sunsama apart is this monofocus and being very intentional about what you put into your day, focusing on the most important things. So I will use Sunsama to plan my day. So when do you want to plan your day? They're going to start 9 a.m. Great. You can always change that if you want to, but I think that's good. So you can make a habit of planning your day, and then you can have it either remind you via desktop notification or email only. but we're going to just do desktop notification for now. We're going to allow. And so just like this, very simple. Once per day, we will help you plan your day and plan tomorrow. So you can select plan today or plan tomorrow. For now, let's plan today. So since this is the first time you're using it, it's very simple. We're going to select the first task. So maybe today is the day that you need to call your mom. If you haven't called her recently, this is a great time to do it. And then you have the option to set the date or add to a backlog. You can set the time. So I think it might take, let's say, a 30-minute call. And then it automatically realized that this was going to be a personal thing, which is pretty amazing. I think that one of the unique things is that Sunsama is starting to introduce certain AI features, but it's very simple and you can align it with objectives, but we haven't gotten to that yet. So let's just do this. So that looks good. Let's add, set up a meeting with Bruce Wayne. Great. And then let's see, that'll be today. And look, it has like a plan time. So it thinks that it's going to take about 30 minutes. And for some odd reason, it thinks it's personal. No, this is work. This is 100% work. And that looks good. So we can press enter and we're all set. And another thing that you'll notice is that they've got these little shortcut indicators like this little A here. So if I hit A on my keyboard, I can now type the next task to go over business plan with, let's say, Tony Stark. Perfect. And it's automatically guessed that it would take 30 minutes and it's a work-related topic. However, it's going to take an hour. Good guess, but not quite there. Let's hit enter. Okay, this is looking good. I feel good about my schedule so far. And what I love is that how much time do you plan to spend on that? So again, you can set the times that you need to, but for right now, this looks good. So it says like 2 hours. And like basically it's showing you where you want to be between, because basically let's say the business plan, it's like a whole day event, let's say 6 hours. All of a sudden you're in the orange zone. It's like not bad. And you can see how much work time is up here. You can toggle to all work. But then let's say this is crazy. We're just going to spend all day on this, 9 hours. It's kind of warning you that you're spending too much time on this and you don't have much time for anything else. So it's kind of unrealistic. And then next you can add in work from your other tools. So for example, if I integrate, let's say ClickUp, let's add ClickUp, log in, select a workspace. And just like that, it's connected. I can see it right here. I can simply drag and drop that task from my ClickUp into the calendar and it automatically adds the time and category. So that's great. And it makes it very easy if you have any events on your calendar that you need to add in. You can even automate or adjust import settings so it automatically brings in certain calendars, which is great. Only including certain types of events. And then autocomplete, when you go past the time slot, that way it records it as being done. So for example, I've got this one-on-one meeting with Bob the Builder and I want to schedule my work around that so that I don't accidentally call my mom at the same time. So I'm going to hit that and add event, and like that, it's added onto my schedule and that looks good. Let's go to next. And so it's showing the predicted workload and it's showing that I've got an hour and 40 minutes overcommitted because I've got my preferred shutdown at 5 p.m. You can always adjust this if you want, but let's say you want to end the day at 5 p.m. That's a great idea. However, it's already 5:36 where I am. And so it's realizing that some of this might need to wait. And so I can realize that, okay, setting up that meeting with Bruce Wayne can wait. And then maybe I can push this off to the next week. And so just like that, it's now still 1 hour overcommitted since we're overtime, but you get the idea. Let's show this. So 7 p.m. is my normal. So you got 1 hour available time. It's kind of cool. Okay, maybe I can move these back. 40 minutes available. And like that, you still have 15 minutes available time. I just love how simple it is to see how much time is, what you're working on and stuff like that. So we're going to hit next, and it's going to bring you to this. I just love the simple walkthrough that they have. Very easy. So you can see that it's there. And if you want to auto schedule, you're just going to hit X on your keyboard. Well, oh, this is new. This is the first time I've seen it. So I hit X to schedule it, and it says overcommitted. Sunsama can't find free time in your schedules on this day. So you can schedule anyway, schedule on another day, or defer to the next day. So we're going to schedule anyway. We're going to just do that. Your first time box task, great. You can fine tune how your tasks are scheduled to your calendar. And so you can adjust the settings, but we're going to just dismiss that for now. And we'll schedule this anyway. So like that, if you just want to schedule it. Another method is the playlist method, where you just arrange your tasks in order that you want to complete them. And then you just do it in order. So just like that, looks good. And then you can also add the shutdown time onto your calendar. That way you can see it right there, and it will go through the shutdown process. So that looks good. And you'll see plan for today. We've got all these tasks, and you got linked up whatever is an outside tool, which is fantastic. And then obstacles in my way. So maybe you identify that, like, if I use my phone a lot, I need to maybe put that off to another room so that I can focus on getting work done. And if you're ready, then you can post it if you want to do it to Slack or Microsoft Teams. Otherwise, you can just hit get started, and you're ready to start your day. And as a new member, they give you these like recommendations to set up Sunsama, add tasks, add integrations. We did that. Create recurring tasks for routine work. Let's just show you what that looks like. So we're going to hit A, because we are experts at using our short codes. And then we're going to go and select this day. And we're going to say it takes an hour. Let's say this is inbox 0. Okay. And saying personal, but this will be work. And so we're going to hit enter. And just like that, we've got inbox 0. And we can make it a repeating task, and you can set it to weekly, weekdays, daily. So this is going to be daily, although even better, they've got an option for weekdays. So we'll select that roughly. Let's leave it blank. Okay. And then you can add like Gmail, Slack, and any other like things that you have to do on a regular basis. So that's great. Looks good. Done. It's like that. You've got a recurring task. So we've done that now. And then Command K brings up this command bar so you can quickly do things, and you can see kind of the shortcuts, which is great. And one of my favorite shortcuts is spacebar to go into focus mode. So as soon as you hit spacebar, it brings you to this focus mode, and you can see set up a meeting with Bruce Wayne, how much time you're spending on it, how much time is planned. You can add any subtasks if you need to, or notes. They've got a Pomodoro timer, and you can have breaks. You can add time. So it's just like a very simple, easy to use tool, which is great. And this is the new and improved navigation. Super simple to use, easy to understand. So you got your daily planning, which we already did, your daily task list. So this brings you into a very focused view to just see today, not the next week, not tomorrow. It's just very simple. You can see all the tasks that you need to do. And then quickly toggle. Let's say there's another task that you need to grab from ClickUp. You can do that. And then weekly planning, we'll go over that next. Okay, so we're ready to dive into the weekly view. So here you have basically where you're going to set your weekly objectives. So I can go in here and say record YouTube video, make a podcast episode, paint the hallway, just as random examples. And then if you want to assign them to a channel, you can either click here or press Q while highlighting over. So this is going to be a personal. This is going to be, actually, let's manage channels. I'm going to add, these are kind of like Slack. So I'm going to have like a YouTube channel. That way I can see how many hours I devote to YouTube. So like at the end of the week, you can get that data. And then maybe I'll have like a podcast one where I work on the podcast. So basically you'll just put in, maybe you'll have like a family specification if you want to. I mean, don't go too overboard, just like the ones that make sense that you want to track. I think it makes the most sense. And another cool feature, so now we're in the application. I switched over so you could see what this looks like. And so you've got right here this nice little timer that floats above all windows, so you can keep an eye on how much time you're spending on tasks. Like setting up my meeting with Bruce Wayne obviously has gone over what it should be. So hopefully next time when I'm scheduling this out, I dedicate a little bit more time now that I know this. So I think we're good with the setup Sunsama, so I'm going to check that off. And like that, it disappears, it goes to the bottom, gets grayed out. Just love the UI, UX. And the other thing is you'll notice this progress bar. This is probably my favorite feature, and you can see 8 tasks remaining there. Beautiful. And every time you check off one of these tasks, let's do this one just so you see what happens. Let's say it's done. I finished it. It's checked off, and you'll see that it automatically changes the little hovering timer so that now it's blanked out and you're ready to start the next one. And so you can either go over to this one, hit spacebar, or hit the play button right here, and you're starting to work on that. Great. So we're going to go back to our week planning. And so we got a personal, and this one's going to now be the podcast. Let me move this out of the way. Podcast. And then this one we're going to dedicate as the YouTube channel. And you get the idea. Like the big projects that you want to complete during the week, this is a great place to put it. And then once you're happy with that, you can hit next. Also, just so you know, if you want to just dedicate time each day, let's say 25 minutes, so that you know you're going to be working on it. And you can see like, so since it was in the past, it automatically checked it off. It's like, you did it. So, but in the future ones, you can see that it plans it, which is just like super convenient. So you don't have to go in there individually, add those, since you're going to be working on the same thing. So you got planned for this week, finished last week. Since this is a brand new account, there's nothing finished, but you would normally see it, and then done. And then you can have this weekly review. So once you're done with things, you can see where you spent your time. And so I've got some things that weren't assigned. So I'm just going to go in here and assign them to random things just so you can see what that looks like. And there you go. You can see that it shows you that I've spent those type of times, but it's just pulling from my calendar. So it's nothing too fancy, but it's really neat once you get all those tasks in there, and you can see, like, for example, maybe you were editing a YouTube video and it took you 2 hours and you only allocated 1 hour, let's say, then you know next time maybe you need to allocate more time. And I think that's the beauty of Sunsama. So that's the weekly planning, weekly review, just a very simple thing. And you can write down basically what you finished this week and then post it to your group if you want to, or yourself, and then just wrap up. And that's great. The next thing I want to show you real quickly is the daily shutdown. So we already did the weekly planning, the weekly review, the daily planning, and I showed you the daily task list. The next main thing is the daily shutdown. So we're going to go in here, and basically you can see all of the things that you worked on, what you didn't get to. These were the things that you planned, but you didn't quite get to. This is a great time to check off any of those things that you actually did. And that way you mark it off, and you can see where you spend your time. You can see that there's uncategorized. So this might be a good time to go in and just assign it to something. That way you know what you're spending your time on. So there you have it. You can see total time planned was 2 hours. You spent a total of 4 hours. Things don't always turn out the way that you planned. And again, you didn't hit the 6 to 8 hours. So you're still in the green, realistic planning. So hit next. And then daily shutdown ritual. So basically this is telling you basically what this is. Write a brief reflection on how the day went. 1, answer these questions. What got done today? What did I learn? How am I feeling? What do my colleagues need to know? List links to any work you did, demo videos, documents, code. Share this right up in Slack if you're on a team. This daily reflection brings closure. When you're done with it, pack up and go home, which I love. That's just so good. So we're going to just wrap up. And then I love that, like, at the end, it doesn't show you go back to everything that you need to get done. It just says done for the day, which is great. You can leave this up for tomorrow. And normally, just so you know, when you're planning your week and your day, it will pop up automatically the reminders to plan your week and your day. And you can change those in the settings if you want. And then your home view, I love it. You can see everything at a glance, quickly, go back and forth. The other thing that you can do is you can press tab, and that will switch over to your calendar view. So you can quickly toggle between the two. And you'll notice here, you got your calendar on the side. You can go to the ClickUp. You can go to your weekly objectives. So let's say make a podcast episode. I want to do that then. Just like that, I planned it right there. Record YouTube video. I'll drop it right there. Boom, done. Just so easy and simple, and it's already aligned. I mean, you can manually go in there. Let's say you're creating a thumbnail. Let's see. It thinks it's for the podcast. It's pretty close, but I'm going to say YouTube channel. I wish it got YouTube channel. That would have made more sense, but I have to create thumbnails for the podcast too. So good guess. Okay, that's tomorrow. And then what you can do is set the objective. So this is for recording the YouTube video. And then once you're good, hit enter. And just like that, you're ready to go with that. And you can see that there's that task planned right here, create a thumbnail. So you can quickly see that on the side. That way, you know that you're like, what you have planned during the week is aligned with a target objective. So you can see those little purple targets. That way, you know that you're working on things that are meaningful. And then once you're done with that project, you can check it off and you can see that you're making progress towards those most important goals, which is it's really helpful to have that feedback. That way, you know that you're getting closer to your goals. You have an not an archive, but very similar to it, backlog. So you can add tasks you want to work on someday, but aren't ready to commit to yet. And then one of my favorite things is the archive. I jumped the gun. So archive is basically tasks that roll over with at least 4 consecutive days. So if you don't get to something in 4 days, and you can change it if you want less or more, but realistically, if you don't get to something in 4 days, typically 1, it's not important, or 2, you got more important things to do. So it can end up here so that you don't see it in your day tasks all the time. And again, like I said, you can see all of their updates right here, easy to see. I love that they, recently added the navigation 2.0, and looks like they improved it already. So yeah, beautiful planning tool. And then again, my favorite place is probably the focus, because then you just have one thing to look at. That's it. Super helpful. And if you're looking to go home, you can press H to go home. And then for focus mode, you can hit F. And just like that, you're back to it. Just some fun little tasks. So T is for today. And then for daily planning, you press P. Daily shutdown is O. And the next thing I want to show you is the new Zapier, however you want to say it, integration. Basically, it's a tool for automations. So if you want to connect certain apps or have certain functionality that isn't already baked into Sunsama, this is a great option. I will say this, don't try to incorporate it unless you have a use case that is helpful, because automations is great only if it serves a purpose. And so I'm going to give you an example of something that I already use in my workflow. It currently does not go to Sunsama. However, maybe that's something I should consider. It currently goes to my project management tool, but I'm going to set up something similar with Sunsama. And it's really cool. Zapier has this easy way for you to create an automation. You don't really have to necessarily hunt for what you want. You can just type in in regular language, when a Google form is submitted, add a task to Sunsama. So we're going to do this. We're going to hit next. They're creating it. So just like that, you've got an automation that looks good. Automate task creation from Google Forms to Sunsama. New form response, create task. Looks perfect. Let's try it. So now we need to continue. We're going to select the form. So I created this test form for this purpose. I'm going to move this out of the way for now. So we've got that set up. I'm going to continue. We're going to test the trigger. And we've got all of the different data that we need to create this. And so we're going to continue. So we want it to create a task. So here we go. So I guess it's in beta right now, but obviously it seems to work decently well. So now we're going to have to connect Sunsama. So we're going to sign in. And so we're going to need the Zapier in token. So we're going to have to go to our integration settings, and they provide the link right there. So all we have to do, click on that, and then let's go find Zapier. So it's on their integrations at the very bottom. And so they give some examples of what you could use. Create Sunsama tasks from new starred emails in Gmail. So kind of neat that they give you suggestions. So we're going to create a new one. And just like that, we've got one. And now I can copy this token. And we're going to go back to Zapier. And I'm going to paste it in here. And we're going to say, yes, continue to Sunsama. And just like that, we are connected and ready to go. We're going to press continue. So what do we want the title of the task to be? So I would probably do the project name so that you know what it is. So that's good. And then we're going to do, let's see here, channel. So let's say it's related to the podcast, like someone's uploading their audio or video file. So we're going to do podcast. And then we don't need to add to backlog. So we can do false. And then notes. So I believe this is for the description of the task, which is awesome. You can put in details like from, and then we're going to click the respondent's email. And then we can say like when it was last submitted. That way we've got that information. And then we can do due date. Although actually, we probably don't need it there. I'll just leave it there for now. But you can also add the upload files here. So I believe that should bring up any files that are uploaded. It'll give you the Google Drive links right there and ready to go. And then my favorite spot is like any other details that I need to know about the project. So just so you know, this is what it looks like. It's just a very simple form. Basically, someone can upload a file here, put in the project name, due date, any other details, submit. Super simple. And that's all you need. Okay, so I think that looks good for the notes. I don't think I need the URL, so we'll leave that blank. Plan time, so you can already set that. Or, maybe you have a question in the field like that they fill out to put in like a time, and then you can insert that data with just a click of a button here. But since I don't need to, we're going to skip that. So it's going to hit continue. So we're going to test the step. It's going to send a task to Sunsama and publish. And let's see if we got it. There it is, right there. The only question I have is if there's a way to specify the due date, because, okay, let's check this out. Add to backlog. And this would be start date. I don't know why I didn't see that before. Perfect. Okay, so we'll put the due date right in there, and hopefully this will work the way we want it to. I think that's the only other thing I want to put in. So there we go. And then the plan time's working. So let's say 90 minutes. That way you can see what that looks like. Continue. And let's retest the step just so you can see it. Okay, so it should be back in there now. Aha, perfect. So there it is, an hour and 30 minutes planned. And I guess it, for some reason, decided to start on October 2021. But there you go. It's in there. And let's just test our form just to make sure that this works. I don't know. For someone that hasn't used automation before, it is pretty amazing to see how simple it is these days to set up automations. They've made it so much easier than it used to be. You no longer have to get webhooks, unless you're doing some custom stuff. So we're just going to add a file, get a beautiful picture of me in there. I'm going to add that. Edit an epic thumbnail with this photo. And I'm going to need it tomorrow because I'm making a video. Perfect. Make sure It's amazing. Okay, submit. Oh, let's see what went wrong. I think that's good. Let me try submit one more time. Second time's the charm. There we go. Project submission test form. We sent it. Let's see. Let me refresh. There it is. There it is. So we've got edit and uppick thumbnail with this photo. You got from this, and we have the information. Make sure it's amazing. So I guess it didn't bring over the email address, but that's fine. I don't know if it was because it was from myself filling it out. But yeah, super simple. And I've got the link right there so that I can go check it out and the notes. So instead of having to like go into the form and then like extract the data, it's already in my plan and I know exactly when it's needed. So that is the new Zapier integration. It's a super helpful feature if you need to extract data from somewhere or bring information. Maybe someone posts something in one place and you just need to pull it into your list. It's a simple way to do that. So great option for that. The other thing I want to quickly dive into is the mobile experience. Okay, so this is a mobile app. It's really simple to use. You can scroll between days. You can go to the calendar and see any events that you scheduled. Very simple. And you can see that how much time you have planned, how much time you spent. So you can set that yourself, change it if you want to. And then once you're ready to start, you hit the play button and you're ready to go. And it's already tracking it. You can quickly add a task by hitting this plus button on the side. Call Chris Martin. Okay. Yeah, this is a personal call, so we're good. Estimated that it'd take an hour and 30 minutes. It's about right. We'll do it today. Perfect. So we've got that now on our schedule. You can also go to more and you can do the daily shutdown. You can do the backlog, archive, and you've got your objectives here. So you can quickly check off things as you go. The ClickUp integration is not like the desktop integration, so just keep that in mind. It's not as simple. You would have to go into the ClickUp app and then hit the 3 dots and then share private link and then select Sunsama. So a little bit more cumbersome, but it works, if you need to use it. But otherwise, I would say the desktop app is better for that. If you just want to see the work channels, you can do that, or the personal channels, just like that. You can toggle between it. Really convenient. And so, yeah, that's the mobile app. Really simple. You can click into the apps. Yeah, it's nothing fancy, but it does the job. Okay, so now the last question, is the price right? And so I'll say a word of warning, it is not cheap. However, I would say that if it helps you stay more organized and focused, saving you time and thus money, I think it could be easily worth the expense. So I would say if you're on the fence or just want to try it out and learn the philosophy, I would highly recommend downloading this app and giving it a try. Again, if you want to try Sunsama, you can use my affiliate link in the description to get a free 30-day trial. Remember that typically they give you a 14-day trial. So this will give you a little extra time for you to try it out and see if it's a good fit for you and if it's worth the expense. So what is the expense? Let's answer that question right now. So you get the free trial. Again, if you use my link, that's going to be 30 days. And then if you love it, there's the yearly subscription at $16 per month, billed annually. And then you have the monthly subscription option, which is $20 per month, billed monthly. So just to give you an idea of what it costs, it's not cheap, but I think it offers a very unique philosophy and system for you to plan your day and be more intentional about your time. And then get that feedback at the end of the week to see where you spent your time and make better decisions on where you should spend your time going forward, and being more intentional and realizing what obstacles you might be facing during the day. I think it's a great option for people that are looking to be more intentional about their time. So my recommendation is this. At the very least, give it a try. Since you don't even have to give them your credit card information, you get unlimited access to everything for a full 30 days. Check it out. At the very least, I think you're going to learn a lot about their philosophy. They've got a lot of great resources on their site as well. They've got their blog, and they've got also an email. I love their emails that they send out. So I think you're going to enjoy it. So let me know what you think. Are you going to try Sunsama? Do you think it's a great fit, or do you think it's overpriced? What productivity tools do you currently use? Would love to hear from you. And is there a tool that I should review next? Let me know in the comments. Would love to hear. Let's chat. And until next time, my friends, stay techie.